Good thing you're here, Geralt. A rhyme for wonder?
I'm no poet.
I know, but you have good ideas sometimes.
Yonder?
Good!
Writing a sonnet for your new muse?
Better than that. I'm composing an anthem for Vergen. Want to hear the first version?
No.
Listen. May those who dream of freedom arise, seeing the sight of liberty with their eyes. Let us go together, become our brother. The choice is yours, you know there's no other. How far shall we venture in this great wonder? Elf, dwarf, and human set forth together yonder. Like it?
It rhymes, kind of.
All right then, tell me what you discovered.
Is it my imagination, or have you become a propaganda mouthpiece for the court?
You know what I really like about this place? There is no court. People are with Saskia because they want to be, not because they have to or should be.
You have a tendency to go from one extreme to the other.
And you have a tendency to shit on every ideal, even the most noble.
I try to take an objective view of the world.
Yet you've joined us. You have, haven't you?
I'm on Vergen's side, at this time.
Don't want to commit, eh? Well, Vergen isn't some whore you can just screw and forget.
You're right. Once you're on a teetering bridge, you might as well cross it.
Finally, spoken like a man. Oh, sorry, that was racist. Wise words, Witcher.
I just want to make sure that woman named Vergen doesn't end up screwing me.
Let me see if I understand your position correctly. Kiss my right cheek, kiss my left cheek. Just don't kiss me on my butthole.
Whenever I see that stupid romantic spark in your eyes, I just know I'll have to haul your ass out of some new swamp very soon.
Oh, screw you and your help. Lots of humans, dwarves, even elves around here would follow me into fire.
I hope you're right about that. Iorveth seems to have changed.
Everyone changes here. Except you, of course.
I'm not sure I like changes of that kind. I find them hard to believe.
You're an idiot. Saskia's giving Iorveth a chance. If he uses it well, he'll finally be able to emerge from that hole in the ground he's been living in for years. That's the least of it. If he plays his cards right, he can win everyone's respect. People only remember what they want to remember.
I suppose you're right. A free state in the Pontar Valley could turn Iorveth from a brigand into a knight.
Which is why it's useless to wonder why he's changed. I wouldn't trust him with my child. But who knows what he'll become?
My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have two women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I believe I'll find Triss, alive.
And Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her. My memory's coming back. It's just bits and pieces so far, but I can feel them coming together, forming a whole.
What have you remembered?
The voyage, an endless trek south. I was following Yennefer and the Wild Hunt. I have no idea how long. It got cold. Only old people were left in the villages I passed through, but they all refused to tell me what had happened to the young, to their children. I finally pressed a man for information. He blamed it on wolf packs, on an outburst of drowners and rot fiends. No one mentioned the Wild Hunt.
Did you catch up to the hunt?
I don't know.
Got anything you can follow?
I'm looking. You once mentioned some elven poems about the hunt.
I believe I said they could exist, and they'd be old. I don't know any, but look around. You're pretty good at finding things.
One thing's for sure. Letho's not on this side of the fog.
If you wanted to pursue the assassin, you should have gone to Henselt's camp with Roach.
Just because I went after Triss doesn't mean I've forgotten about Letho.
Why do you care so much? It's not your coop or your chickens.
My reputation's a little more important than hens in a coop. Until I find Letho, I'll be considered a murderer.
No one thinks you're a kingslayer here.
You're dead wrong. They treat me well because they need me. That could change in an instant.
You're probably right. Let's say you catch him. What then?
He'll pay for his crime,
Punishments vary.
but there's only one punishment for murder. Letho knows a lot about me. There are certain things that probably only he can explain.
I'm not so sure you want to know them.
We'll see.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'm sure he wouldn't murder a king without a valid reason. Killing him would be a last resort. I hope it won't come to that. Letho is responsible for 2 regicides. I want to know why he did it. Or rather, for whom.
Is that so important?
Witchers don't step into political quicksand for no reason. I don't like the principles that govern the world, but so far nobody's come up with anything better. Murdering kings solves nothing. Quite the contrary.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'll decide once I've heard him out, learned the truth. Maybe I'll see his point, or maybe I'll just cut off his head.
Look, another one. You let one human in and another one.
Geralt, first throat of the Witcher's Guild. Finally, a drink with someone worth talking to.
Short on company?
What can Yarpin tell me? I prefer listening to horses fart.
Any idea where I can play dice around here?
Try the blacksmith's helper.
I wanted to talk to you about the Free State of Vergen. We haven't had the occasion somehow.
True.
Do you buy into Saskia's ideals?
Are you asking me if I believe what she says, or if I believe she'll be successful?
Both.
Saskia's no liar, that's a fact. But whether we'll manage, who can tell? One thing is sure, we'll never know if we never try. For now, a great battle awaits. A battle in which elf, dwarf, and human will stand side by side. And that is beautiful in itself.
It's also the biggest potential weakness.
Nothing unites folk like shared death. I believe those who survive will honor the deaths of their comrades.
If they win.
Even if they don't. News spreads fast. Others will follow in our footsteps.
The Kingslayer's trail has gone cold. Have you heard anything?
No one could sneak into Vergen. We watch day and night. Anyway, who would they come for here? Stennis? Why so keen on capturing the assassin of kings?
Because I'm innocent.
The wise among us know that, and I wouldn't listen to the fools.
I can only prove my innocence by dragging in the real culprit. No other way. Letho knows a lot about me. Certain things maybe only he can explain.
Is it worth sticking your neck out to know what was in your head before?
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. Letho is guilty of 2 regicides. I want to know why he did it. Or rather, for whom.
What's the difference?
Witchers don't step into political quagmires for no reason.
Every king has so much shite under his collar that taking a knife to his throat is always justified.
I don't care for the principles that govern the world, but I have yet to hear any better ideas. Murdering kings solves nothing. Quite the contrary. Iorveth seems to have changed. Have you noticed?
Oh, has his arse grown fatter in Saskia's keep?
An elf who was the greatest foe of humans will now fight for their freedom. Doesn't that surprise you?
Only harpies don't change their minds. I'm no expert on elves, but as I see it, he's got a stiffy for Saskia.
Iorveth?
He stood all gentle as a lamb in council, stealing glances at her tits. When she spoke to him, he looked as happy as a fool whittling a wooden toy.
Vergen seems like an ancient town. Do you know its history?
It's one of the mining colonies Mahakam established. There were lots of them just 500 years ago. Now they're mostly in ruins. It was the first town where dwarves and humans began working side by side. For the past 3 years, it's been a symbol of our common death.
This place stinks of cheese milk.